Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Mind Rush. Get ready to dive into heart-pounding chases, jaw-dropping action, and the most thrilling moments caught on camera. Let's get your heart racing. July 1st, 2016, Chicago, Illinois. Tinley Park officers responded to reports of an armed robbery at a local restaurant. By the time they arrived, the suspects had already taken off. 4 men in a car, armed and dangerous. Officers quickly located the suspect vehicle and attempted a traffic stop, but the driver had no intention of surrendering. With sirens wailing, the vehicle tore through traffic and hit the highway, initiating a high-speed pursuit toward the city of Chicago.
We got lights activated on this vehicle.
Unit traffic 15 lights activated in the area.
Step out! Step out! Step out! Step out! Step out!
Coming from the ramp like the 31st.
Get out! 01, step 4.
The officer ordered the suspects to step out of the car, but fate had something entirely different written for these once peaceful human beings.
Park. Going to motel parking lot, you can't park.
Vehicle going through the motel parking lot in Cal Park.
As the chase crossed jurisdiction lines, Chicago police were called in for backup. Speeds exceeded 80 miles per hour as the suspects weaved through traffic and ran multiple red lights. Officers coordinated from different directions, hoping to box them in before anyone got hurt. But things took a violent turn when the suspect vehicle blew through the intersection of 124th and Union Avenue in the West Pullman neighborhood. That's when the suspect's car slammed into an unmarked Chicago police SUV with 4 officers inside. The crash pushed the police vehicle into a nearby house, destroying a wheelchair ramp. The suspect's car flipped over and slid on its roof before coming to a stop.
Halsted 126, northbound on Halsted 126.
Northbound Halsted 126.
Northbound on Halsted 123. Northbound on Halsted 123. We're likely going to be bailing. Hold on.
Northbound Halsted 123.
Driving through a lot on 123.
Driving through a lot northbound Halsted on 123.
Eastbound 123rd from Halsted.
Eastbound 123rd from Halsted.
Eastbound 123rd, passing Union. Give me CPD, get him.
123rd, passing Union, requesting CPD.
Passing Wallace.
123rd, passing Wallace.
Northbound in the alley of Wallace. Bailing. Hang on, they're still in.
Northbound in the alley at Wallace.
We're going southbound on Wallace from 124.
Southbound Wallace from 124.
Westbound on Wallace from 124. Down the alley.
Westbound Wallace from 124 down the alley.
Northbound on Wallace from 125th. I'm alone with Chicago. Where is Chicago at?
Northbound Rollins, the alley from 125th. CPD, all units have been advised. Any units that can assist, they give a transport for scene.
Northbound on Union from 125th. Alright, I got 117 back with me. Oh shit! Chicago, give me fire! See if you need to scatter to a 1050 with them. Give me fire out here.
Inside the mangled vehicle were all 4 suspects, badly injured. 2 of them, later identified as Jimmy Malone and Ronald Arrington, were pronounced dead at the scene. All 4 officers inside the CPD SUV were also injured, but fortunately, none of them sustained life-threatening wounds. The aftermath left the area shaken, a destroyed car, a damaged home, and a city street littered with debris. He was charged with armed robbery, aggravated fleeing and eluding possession of a stolen vehicle, aggravated battery to a peace officer, criminal damage to property, possible reckless homicide, pending. What began as a robbery in the suburbs turned into a deadly, high-speed pursuit that ended in a violent crash on Chicago's South Side. 2 suspects lost their lives, 4 officers were injured, and an entire block was nearly torn apart, all because someone chose to run instead of surrender. This chase was fast, reckless, and tragic, but it also shows just how quickly law enforcement must react when danger hits top speed. June 6, 2016, Highland Township, Michigan. Just after pulling over a woman near M59 and Fisk Road, White Lake Township police officers immediately noticed something was off. The woman, sitting behind the wheel of a dark SUV, handed over what turned out to be a fake name. While the officer returned to his vehicle to run the false ID against the license plate, things took a turn. As soon as she realized the clock was ticking, she cranked the wheel, slammed the gas, and took off, leaving the traffic stop and reality behind.
Negative. Someone westbound 59 running home.
Just got multiple.
120 starts. Copy, still westbound from Elizabeth.
Past the border.
That driver was later identified as Mercedes Morris, a woman already wanted on multiple outstanding warrants. She wasn't just fleeing a routine stop. She was trying to escape a long list of legal troubles. What followed was a dangerous high-speed pursuit westbound down M59. Dashcam footage shows Morris weaving recklessly through traffic, pushing speeds that left little room for error. Her SUV swerved from lane to lane, barely missing other drivers who had no idea they were part of a developing police chase. Officers remained close behind, trying to keep the public safe while containing the unpredictable threat ahead of them.
Yeah. Don't go out of money.
Gotcha.
Should we clear with egress? I'm out with money. Would you like to hurry over where you're going out now? The vehicle, either a Suburban or a Yukon, change the color, or always clear it out on a Greenfield dealer. You're not my head, well, Cross your 59 Ridge. He's right.
It only took about 4 minutes before the chase came to a violent end. Morris lost control of the SUV near Ridge Road, just off M59. The vehicle veered off the roadway and smashed into a utility pole, snapping it like a twig and sending it crashing to the ground. Officers quickly surrounded the wrecked SUV, weapons drawn. Despite the chaos, Morris didn't resist. She was removed from the vehicle and taken into custody on the spot. Charges: In addition to her prior outstanding warrants, Mercedes Morris now faces fleeing and eluding police, providing false information to law enforcement, driving with a suspended license, reckless driving, and damage to public property. From a fake name to a downed utility pole, this traffic stop escalated in every way possible. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured, but it's a clear example of how quickly things can spiral when a wanted suspect tries to outrun the law. In the end, justice caught up, and the crash did too. July 21st, 2025, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. An Oklahoma City police officer was patrolling S. High Avenue near Southeast 29th Street when a red pickup truck began drifting over the center line and into oncoming traffic. When the officer attempted a traffic stop, the driver hit the gas and took off, kicking off a pursuit through quiet residential neighborhoods.
Just hit another car pulling up in the driveway, going westbound on 42nd. All the road doing their Phillips westbound. He hit my car. Yeah, it's in for it. He almost hit me with the car.
Sorry for a second there.
Wrecked out again.
The suspect, later identified as 18-year-old Daniel Placenia Lopez, wove recklessly through the streets, striking a patrol car, smashing into a parked vehicle, and even tearing through a residential front yard. Despite the chaos, officers stayed close behind as the red truck finally lost control and collided head-on with a telephone pole. But the teen wasn't done yet. He continued revving the engine until officers boxed him in from all sides. Once he realized escape was no longer an option, Lopez finally stepped out of the vehicle, visibly upset and shouting, "I didn't do anything!" Officers moved in swiftly and took him into custody without further resistance. Inside the truck, they found a partially consumed alcoholic beverage, and the strong smell of alcohol throughout the cab made the situation even more serious. Charges: Daniel Placenia. Lopez now faces the following charges: assault and battery on an officer DUI under 21 reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident involving damage, eluding a police officer, multiple traffic violations. What started with a minor traffic infraction turned into a late-night rampage through Oklahoma City. From crashing into police cruisers to plowing through private property, this teen racked up charges fast, and now he's facing the full weight of the law. On Sunday, July 9th, 2023, La Crosse, Wisconsin, at approximately 4:50 p.m., La Crosse police attempted to pull over a stolen vehicle near 2nd Street and Grove Street. The vehicle had been reported stolen just the day before, but instead of stopping, the driver, later identified as 25-year-old Deshaun Huff of Winona, slammed on the accelerator and fled southbound on 2nd Street at speeds topping 60 miles per hour. The pursuit escalated quickly as Huff blew through intersections and headed toward Norplex Drive. As officers gave chase, the stolen vehicle suddenly lost control at Norplex and Hood Street. And then, it launched straight off the southwest curb and into Swift Creek. Officers rushed in immediately, wading through the water and tossing rescue ropes. But Huff, clearly panicked, couldn't grab hold. As the car sank, so did Huff. Within minutes, the La Crosse Fire Department Dive Rescue Team and the La Crosse County Dive Rescue Team arrived and pulled Huff from the water. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Charges, pending full recovery and investigation. Huff may face fleeing an officer, operating a stolen vehicle, reckless endangerment, failure to stop, and other related traffic and criminal charges. What started as a routine stop quickly turned into a dramatic water rescue. As Huff remains hospitalized, the Wisconsin State Patrol has taken over crash reconstruction, ensuring an independent review, standard procedure when a pursuit results in serious injury. July 20th, 2025, Moxie, Washington. Around 9:30 a.m., 49-year-old Michael Roll was driving near the intersection of Boudry Road and Beauchene Road when he allegedly blew through a stop sign, crashing directly into another driver. But what happened next was anything but a routine fender bender. Instead of checking on the other driver or exchanging insurance information, Roll reportedly became hostile and aggressive. When the victim tried to document the incident by writing down his license plate, Roll began shouting racial slurs. According to the police affidavit, he escalated the situation by grabbing a metal piece of molding, swinging it around in a threatening manner as if preparing to attack. The situation was clearly deteriorating fast. Just as officers began arriving on the scene, Roll jumped back into his vehicle and took off, turning the already volatile encounter into a full-blown pursuit. Troopers gave chase as Roll sped through the rural roads of Yakima County, topping 100 miles per hour. He reportedly ignored multiple traffic laws during the chase, barreling through stop signs, swerving across lanes, and putting the public in danger. Despite his reckless attempts to escape, law enforcement maintained a safe and calculated pursuit, attempting to de-escalate while still tracking his erratic movements.
Crash out first corner on Thorpe from Command.
The chase ended in the 4,300 block of Thorpe Road, where Roll ultimately lost control, causing his vehicle to flip and slam into a fence. The wreck left the car badly damaged, but, miraculously, no one else was hurt in the crash. Roll was taken into custody without further resistance and treated for minor injuries at the scene. He was then transported to the county jail. Michael Roll is now facing a series of criminal charges, including assault with a dangerous weapon, hit-and-run felony, eluding law enforcement, driving with a suspended license, and possible hate crime enhancements pending further investigation. This incident could have ended much worse. Thanks to the quick and professional response by law enforcement, the situation was brought under control before anyone was seriously injured, but it also highlights how fast things can spiral, from running a stop sign to sparking a dangerous pursuit and a violent crash, all in under 30 minutes. In Moxie, Washington, one man's road rage turned into a near disaster. May 6, 2016, Greenfield, Wisconsin. It was just after 3 a.m. when a Greenfield police officer attempted to stop a stolen vehicle. The car, occupied by 4 teenagers, refused to pull over and took off at high speed, pushing 100 miles per hour through city streets. According to Chief Brad Wentland, these weren't just kids out joyriding. These were suspects involved in dangerous, possibly violent felonies. As they ran red lights and swerved around innocent drivers, it became clear something had to be done before someone got seriously hurt. Just past Lincoln Avenue, the officer performed a high-speed pit maneuver at nearly 97 miles per hour, sending the stolen car into a concrete pole, which snapped from the impact. The vehicle was totaled, and all 4 teens fled on foot. Remarkably, none were seriously hurt. All 4 suspects took off on foot but were later located. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured in the crash. The officer's bold decision to use the pit at that speed raised some eyebrows, but Greenfield's police chief stood firm. "It was a judgment call made to save lives," said Chief Wentland, acknowledging that while 97 miles per hour is higher than usual PI-T guidelines, the situation called for action. They were wielding a 3,000-pound weapon with no regard for human life. Charges. The 4 teens are now facing juvenile charges for fleeing and eluding possession of a stolen vehicle, reckless endangerment. Further charges may follow pending investigation. The officer's maneuver may have been controversial, but it stopped a high-speed threat before tragedy struck. As debates around police use of force tactics continue, one thing remains certain. Split-second decisions can mean the difference between safety and catastrophe. And in this case, the officer chose to act before someone else paid the price. July 22, 2025, Hamilton County, Ohio. Just before 6:45 a.m., Hamilton County dispatchers received word that a stolen Honda Civic, occupied by 2 suspects, was en route to a residence in Madeira. Officers set up near the target address, and as soon as the vehicle appeared, they moved in to make a stop at East Galbraith Road and Montgomery Road. But instead of complying, the driver, 26-year-old Kimberly Overstreet of Cincinnati, floored it. With 27-year-old Kenneth Maldonado riding shotgun, the Civic launched into a dangerous high-speed chase, with Madeira officers and Hamilton County deputies in pursuit. Speeds quickly escalated past 100 miles per hour as the Civic barreled down Montgomery Road, ignoring traffic and weaving between cars. At one point, police say Overstreet struck a Blue Ash officer's patrol car, elevating the situation to aggravated vehicular assault. The chase continued into the Ridge Road area, where it finally ended in a crash near the McDonald's at Highland Avenue, just after 7:30 a.m. Officers swarmed the parking lot, and both suspects were taken into custody without further incident. Overstreet now faces a mountain of charges, including felony theft, fleeing and eluding law enforcement, aggravated vehicular assault, and multiple traffic violations. Investigators also believe she may be linked to additional criminal activity in Columbus. As for Maldonado, he's no stranger to law enforcement. already on probation in Wood County, Ohio, for his involvement in a 2015 officer-involved shooting in Perrysburg. He was transported to UC Medical Center for minor injuries before being released into Union Township's custody on charges tied to the vehicle theft. This whole ordeal started over a favor gone wrong. The Civic's owner, Josh Collier, said he was simply trying to help his fiance's stepsister by offering her a place to stay. But that goodwill was repaid with betrayal. The woman allegedly demanded the phone password in exchange for the car's location, saying, "No one's going to hold her down." Authorities confirmed that drugs and alcohol were contributing factors, with multiple agencies involved: Sycamore Township, Blue Ash, Silverton, Cincinnati, and Columbia Township. The investigation continues into potential connections to other crimes in both Columbus and Cleveland. November 10th, 2024, Seattle, Washington. It was around 3 p.m. when chaos erupted near North 44th Street and Woodland Park Avenue North. A woman was reportedly carjacked by a male suspect, and not just that. She was struck by her own vehicle as the man sped off, kicking off a dangerous chain of events. The call came in quickly, and Seattle police officers were on it. Witnesses reported the horrifying scene, and patrol units soon located the stolen vehicle. But the suspect, he wasn't about to surrender. In fact, he rammed 2 separate patrol cars during the pursuit, escalating things to a whole new level. It was clear, this guy wasn't backing down. It was like he had a death wish. The chase pushed through residential areas, drawing attention and danger with every turn. As the suspect barreled toward North 68th Street and Dayton Avenue North, officers tried to contain the threat. But then, the inevitable. The stolen vehicle crashed. Police haven't yet determined exactly what it hit, but the aftermath brought everything to a screeching halt. The suspect was detained at the scene without further resistance. Meanwhile, North 68th Street was shut down between Finney Avenue North and Fremont Avenue North as detectives swarmed the area. Back near Fremont, multiple witnesses confirmed to officers that the man they had in cuffs was indeed the carjacker. The victim was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Charges. While the exact charges are still being finalized, the suspect is expected to face carjacking assault with a vehicle, eluding police vehicular assault, criminal damage to police property. This wasn't just a stolen car. It was reckless violence wrapped in steel. The suspect's disregard for human life, law enforcement, and public safety turned a quiet Seattle afternoon into a dangerous game of chase. Luckily, no lives were lost. But if this guy was looking for a one-way ticket to disaster, he nearly punched it. Thanks for riding the adrenaline wave with us here at Mind Rush. If you're hungry for more heart-pounding action and edge-of-your-seat excitement, don't go anywhere, because we're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more mind-blowing moments coming your way soon.